Hello, everyone. I'm Ben with IV Therapy Startup, and today we're going to talk about ways to get more patients in the door. We've all put in the hard work to get our businesses going and open, so congratulations for anybody that's open. Um, but once we open the doors, we may have realized that, hey, we have another challenge, and that is getting patients in the door. Maybe when we opened, we had a grand opening and we got a lot of, patients, people that knew we were opening, things like that. But at some point, we need more patients in the door. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Jump into some different strategies I put together here on how we can do that. So a little bit about me. We opened a second clinic down in Phoenix, from Flagstaff, Arizona, which is a small town up north. It's a little different market up there. A lot of word of mouth advertising really worked in that town. So we didn't have to invest a ton of money necessarily into advertising, things like that, for sure. Uh, Not in, Google ad spend or Facebook ads or anything like that. So we were fairly busy with just organic and word of mouth. But the bottom line is we need patients in the door today. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there's no like magic pill to getting these patients in the door. We simply just need to put in the work. And that's what we're going to talk about. So our first instincts is, hey, let's start posting on social media because that's where our customers are. Or we send out mailers. We do print advertising, magazine advertising. We've done all that and it works, but it's actually, if you compare it to social media or Facebook ads, it's actually quite a bit more expensive. So the same, $2,000 you put into magazine ads and things like that, you could actually reach, the same amount of people or more with a $5 ad on Facebook. So that's what we're going to kind of talk about today. One of the big problems with Facebook and Instagram, though, today is the organic reach is not that great. So if you're posting on Facebook and Instagram and you just don't have good engagement on your posts, nobody's liking or commenting, things like that, that's simply because you're only reaching, maybe, excuse me, maybe 5% of your followers. So, not many of us are going to have, if we don't have 10,000 followers, it's not going to be very many people that we're reaching. So before we get going though, some tips, a little housekeeping. My advice is to post once a day. Don't post more than once a day. So we don't want to come across as spammy to the algorithms, but we do want to post consistently, and at least once a day. So our customers know that we're open, bottom line. And the next biggest, our big thing to do is we need to protect, you need to protect your account. So make sure that you have full control of your Facebook, your Instagram, your website, your Google My Business page. Don't hand that ownership over to an ad agency or somebody outside of your clinic. It's very important. Make sure you own access to all of your accounts. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to show you the PowerFlow, what I call the PowerFlow ecosystem, and I'm going to share my screen here. And I'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay. So I'm going to kind of lay out what I mean by this PowerFlow ecosystem. I'll kind of draw my way through it, and then we'll talk about the different content types. And then if you guys have questions, we can go over that at the end here. Got to make sure we get our coffee. That's important. Okay, so the PowerFlow, this is what I call the PowerFlow ecosystem. And what I mean by that is we have, so this is as we're posting to social media, and this will kind of make sense as we put it together here. But over here, I have what I call power content. And these are video ads and that sort of thing. So the idea is these videos, we want to make them, 60 to 90-second videos. They don't want to be too long. We don't need to convince people to go to the doctor and that sort of thing with these videos. So we'll talk about what we put in these power content videos in a little bit. But how many times have you guys heard when you get patients that do come in the door, they're like, "Oh, I didn't even know you guys were here." That's frustrating to me. We heard it a ton early on in our clinic, and actually we still hear it today. So I didn't even know you guys were there, even with a good location, good visibility. People drive by and they don't know you're there. So that's the idea and the goal of building out this power flow ecosystem, so we can really nurture and engage and get to know our patients on this broader level. So the other type of traffic or cold traffic campaign that I like is we need to have some type of offer to our customers. And the whole purpose of this offer is to simply get people to our door. So how do we do that? Well, one way is we can offer, if we have specials or promotions, this is a great spot for that. Just any type of offer promotion that gets the whole goal is just we need to get patients in the door. So once we get them to our door, then we can upsell them on all of our other amazing services and products that we offer. We've used the $29 Skinny Shot ads. We've used half off infusions. We've targeted for birthday specials, things like that. So whatever the case is, we just need an offer that gets patients, to our door. And the next type of offer is we need to build a list. So we need to offer some type of value, or we need to offer something of value in exchange for somebody's email. So how cool would it be that we build this email list, and down the road we can fill our clinic with just a simple email. So that's going to be one of the most powerful ways to get people in the door quickly and easily, is by creating this offer to build this list. Okay, so the whole goal, or the whole idea behind the power content videos and these two offers is we're trying to build our warm audience. There we go. Let me try that again. Okay, so how do we build that warm audience? Or that's essentially our invisible list. So the purpose of these videos and offers is to build that invisible list that we can retarget to later. So Facebook is going to be storing this information for us, and we're going to be building up this warm audience that we can retarget to later. So how we're going to do that is anybody that's watching these videos and we're getting 25% or more, if they're viewing 25% or more of the video, we're going to set that up to where those people are going to this invisible list. And over here, anybody that's clicked on these warm offers are also going to be building in that warm audience. So another part of that warm audience too is anybody that likes our Facebook or Instagram pages is also going to be being added to that invisible list. So the power starts to really happen when once we've built that warm audience, or once we've gotten it to at least 1,000 people in there, then we can start focusing on boosted posts. And that's when the ecosystem really starts to work. So when I'm talking about boosted posts, I'm talking about working through our Facebook ads manager and reboosting existing posts that we've already put up, whether it's these offers or power content. And then the other part of this boosted post section that's when we can start creating our reels. So when we have specials or special offers, promotions, that sort of thing, we can really start to retarget them by using Facebook and Instagram Reels, or reboosting some of our existing power content or offer posts that really started to gain traction, or we did get some engagement, things like that. So the whole idea is to spend as little money as possible to get patients in the door. So okay, so this really is the PowerFlow ecosystem, and the whole purpose of this whole system is to really just build a relationship with our patients. So we're going to tie this in a little bit better. So it might be a little bit confusing at the moment, but this is kind of the outline of the ecosystem that we're trying to. This is our ultimate goal here. So let's open up a new page here. I just wanted to mention also that I think 2024, 2025 is really the year that companies are going to have to figure out how to build a personality within their business. So, like Flo with Progressive, some of these big companies have already figured this out long ago. But I really think that 2024, 2025, 2026 are the years where we're going to need to build out. People are going to want to associate a business with a face or a person. So somebody that is recognizable and is just kind of the face of the company. So maybe one thing to start thinking about now is, who is that person, whether it's you or somebody else in your business that can be that person. So okay, so let's talk about how do we build out this power content that I'm talking about here. And what these are really are 60 to 90-second videos. And I get asked all the time, what does this mean? And how do I make this content? So I have three of my favorite topics for creating this are number one, let's see. I'm just learning how to write on this screen, so sorry if it's a little bit shaky here. So three topics that I love. Number one would be the gap. And what do I mean by the gap? So what's a way to think about it is, what gap can your company fill in the marketplace, and how can you accommodate that? So just a couple examples. My brother-in-law, he runs a thrift store business up in Flagstaff, and he had a hard time selling big mattresses, big dressers, just big heavy furniture. So what he did is, when people started wanted to buy these items from him, he would tell them like, hey, if you buy this mattress or dresser, I'll have one of the guys throw it in the back of the truck and we'll follow you home. So that they loved it. So his sales immediately started going way up. So that was a gap that he found that he could fill in the marketplace. And I was thinking about, clinics, what are some gaps that we could fill in the marketplace as a clinic? And one of the gaps is we've all been in the doctor's office where we sit in the waiting room for 30, 40, 50 minutes sometimes. And we have to remember that a lot of times these patients, they're coming to see us on their lunch break or whatever the case may be. And that, everybody has busy schedules. So nobody likes sitting in a waiting room. So what if we could create a system where patients are coming and we have a 5-minute wait time at most, or when they're waiting, we're offering them beverages or whatever the case may be. But creating that system where they're coming in, there's no wait, we're getting them right in and we can guarantee it. So that would be filling, some kind of a gap in the marketplace with that. So another idea I have for number 2 here would be brand story. Who doesn't love a good brand story? That could be, why did you start your business? My brother-in-law, he worked in primary care, and one of his big complaints was, he sees 35 patients a day, and he started feeling guilty. He's like, I can't treat these patients effectively, when I literally have, 10 to 15 minutes per patient. So it was frustrating for him. So his dream or goal or passion was to open his own clinic where he'd be able to, see less patients and give these patients the care that they deserve. So I'd be willing to bet that almost everybody here that has started their IV therapy business has some kind of a unique or cool story behind, why did you start your IV therapy business? So people love stories, and everybody has their own story. So this is actually really, really good content to make. And then number 3, another big one, I think, is what to expect. So patients, they don't know anything about you. They don't know anything about your clinic. They don't know where you're at. So a good idea is just grab your phone and just walk through your front door at your clinic and show the journey that, your potential customer is going to have. So they're going to walk in through the front door. They're going to meet Lori at the front desk. She's going to check you in. She's going to ask you if you want anything to drink. You're going to sit down in this waiting room. And then next, so-and-so is going to come in. They're going to get, make sure your paperwork's done, your vitals, whatever the case is. But you walk them through. The idea is that you just walk them through the journey they're going to have when they're coming into your clinic. So this is just kind of gives them a behind the scenes look. And I really, really think that 2024, 2025, I think that this is what you're going to start seeing a lot of on social media, is kind of behind the scenes, just real life stuff. I don't think people are going to like the big production videos, the highly edited videos and things like that. I think it's just going to be grab your phone and I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk who says it all the time. He said, don't create anything, just document what you're doing throughout the day. And I think it's working well for him because he's got, 1 billion followers. So those are the three areas, topics that I would recommend to fill our power content, to create our content in general. You could even tie these into building out our offers. So just to summarize, filling the gap, brand story, and what to expect. I can promise you that this type of content is going to dominate in 2024, 2025. And for those that are afraid to do it and afraid to just grab that phone and get in front of that camera, I think you're going to get left behind. I honestly do. I think the clinic down the street or your competition, they're going to do it and they're going to win. They're going to win the customers. So that was kind of the presentation I had put together for this. And what I really wanted to do is kind of open it up and see if anybody has any questions on any of this. We're going to be creating a 3-day boot camp. Essentially, it'll be an hour a day. It'll be live, and there'll be a video ahead of time to make sure that you have a few things necessary for, being productive and efficient in the boot camp. And we're going to have that coming out hopefully next week. So keep an eye out for that. So that'll dive deeper into, once we have this content made, how exactly do we post, when do we post, and how do we set these up in Ads Manager, and then my strategies on spending $2 to $5 per day on how to really get this working effectively. So if anybody has any questions, I'd love to hear it. Okay, I got a comment from Christine. She says, I've done the magazine ads and have now just stuck to Facebook and Instagram. Advertising is too expensive and doesn't work. I agree 100%. We did the magazine ads, we did mailers, we did all that. And actually, I think when we moved down to Phoenix, it was a different game down here. It's a huge city compared to where we were at Flagstaff. We still have that clinic there. We're just only up there 1 or 2 days a week, just trying to actually phase down to Phoenix 100%. But we spent a ton of money on magazine ads and things like that. And, we got some results, but really with the money we spent, I didn't feel it was worth it at all. I think you can spend $5 on a good Facebook ad and reach the same amount, if not more people. So, and the nice thing is you can specifically target, specifically target these people versus, especially a radio commercial, things like that. It's going to be broadcasted to, how big of an area. So yeah. What do you recommend posting every single day? We feel that we run out of content. That's a good question. I think that just following this power content. So it's a good question. So in the 3-day boot camp, I have some scripts that I'm going to share on. Basically, it's just kind of fill in the blank type scripts where that will really help with generating content. But just thinking through these three topics, what gaps do you feel in the marketplace? Just sit down and write down a list of pain points that others experience, and just think of it in terms of, going to the doctor's office. Even though this is IV therapy or med spa specific, what are some of those pain points, and how are you better, or how do you make that experience better for your patients when they come to your clinic? And then brand story. You can just share your story on why you started in this business, and why you're continuing in this business, and what you look forward to in the future with this business. So, why you started this business could be, I met a clinic owner a couple of weeks ago. She was, divorced with two little kids at home, and she was working in the hospital, doing 12-hour shifts. And it was just hard with, getting babysitters and school and dance recitals and all these things. So that drove her to, I need to open my own practice. And now she has, a way more flexible schedule with her kids. And that's, so what's your story and why did you start this? And another great one is just what to expect. So I would really just kind of focus on these 3 topics and just kind of go through those and see if you can generate. Otherwise, send me a message through Facebook and I'll let you know. I'll give you an alert or heads up on that 3-day boot camp coming up. And we're really actually going to dive a little deeper into setting all this up. You're going to have homework at the end of each day. So at the end of the 3 days, you're going to have a lot more clarity on what to post, how to post it, and how much to pay for the post, and just kind of setting up that full ecosystem. So good question. So Christine said, when I run out of content, I start making posts about the benefits of specific vitamin like magnesium and list its benefits, also post reviews to patients. I think that's great. I think that's great. I don't think that fits into the three topics here, but I think that's awesome for creating that power content for retargeting. So once you have your warm audience built up, then I think that those are the type of posts, because now you're targeting a specific issue with followers that are already warmed up to your company, and they kind of know who you are. So now you can start posting with retargeting with reels on specific specific things like, hey, NAD plus treatment for fatigue or long haulers, COVID syndromes, or just you can get more specific. And I think that those would come and work awesome for retargeting. But I think initially, to build the warm audience, I would want to focus on the gap, the brand story, and then any offers, specific offers that you're running or promotions, and also trying to figure out how to build your email list. So that's going to be really beneficial at some point. So like when we post about specific vitamins and things like that, like we're, instead of posting about the actual vitamin, we'll post about what it helps with. So kind of the symptom, kind of go after the symptom side of it, not, hey, come in for vitamin C or magnesium. But if you're experiencing this, then we have a solution for you. And yeah, reviews from patients are awesome. So, okay, any other questions or thoughts? So, okay, well, send me a message on Facebook if you want a heads up on the 3-day boot camp. It's going to be an hour a day for 3 days. We're going to have actionable steps that you can take at the end of, and some homework for each day. And then by the end of day 3, the goal is to have this system built out and working for you. So I think it's just super important to remember to, put in the work now. So a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the road, this you get that wheel start turning. Then it's just going to be super easy to plug content in that ecosystem. So that's the whole idea of it, is once that's running and we actually have data coming back from Facebook, we can analyze that data and figure out, okay, this one's working well, let's leave that alone. This section here needs a little bit of work. We can focus on that type of thing. So it'll just make it a well-oiled machine, and you can easily just have somebody dedicated to monitoring that, tracking that. But the best part is you're going to have patients coming in the door. So that's the ultimate goal here, is we need patients in the door. We've put in all this time, effort, money, sweat, tears into building our business. And now is the time when, let's not give up now. And let's put in the same amount of work into getting patients in the door, because as that grows and as we get patients in the door, then a happy, healthy clinic is a wonderful place. And my goal is to help each one of you get there. So yeah, thank you for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing you in the boot camp. And shoot me a message, and I will make sure you get an alert for that. So thank you.